Stalker Patti's online just to comment that she loves her new song. Stalker Patti.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good. You heard the song?
Yes, I did. It was the funniest thing I ever heard. It was so not me. It was so that funny.
Well, it's you saying all those words, Patti.
I know. That was for me reading the magazine and little things, I may have said that got patched together.
What
Drew
a
is very
sexy
clever.
voice she has.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that just the hottest, sexiest female voice? Blah, 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 blah. Are you working today?
Yes, I am. I'm getting ready to go into work now.
Did you have fun yesterday?
Yeah, I had a great time. I got to speak to a lot of people. I love being around a lot of people. I miss that.
You're around a lot of people every day when you're handing out chocolate.
Yeah,
Work at a
but
mall.
not like having a good time and having fun or being out. I'm always, entertaining myself by myself, going to places everywhere by myself.
Any possible dates?
What?
Any possible dates?
No, not that I know of.
None of these guys came up to you and said, Patty, I kind of have something for you.
Probably only in my dreams right now.
Ah, in her dreams.
All right, none of those guys approaching you saying, let's go out sometime, huh?
No, but it was fun to talk to
I'm
everybody.
surprised no one actually comes up to Patti and asks her to go out.
That would be nice,
I'm not talking, some of the sane people that go to our events, but, some of the real freak guys.
Well, like the
coming
guy
up
that does surgery on himself. That would be
yeah,
a
like
nice...
why didn't he go, Patti? If one of our listeners came up and nicely asked you to go out to dinner one night, would you go?
Well, I would have to get to know the person. I would chat with
You
them.
get to know them at dinner.
You can't be
make sure
picky
it's
at this
the same
point,
person
sweetie.
I'm going
50
with,
years
yeah,
old,
I go.
and she's a virgin, and she's being
Patti,
this picky.
do you understand every person probably listening to this show right now goes through that stage in their life where they just don't get to know anyone and they just bang people? You never went through the banging stage.
Yeah, and playing
No.
hard to get kind of ends at about like 24.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
It starts
becomes really annoying and not worth the effort.
for a lot of people. It starts in high school and then maybe college, and that's that period where you're not getting to know anyone. You're drinking and then seeing something that looks good, and you
Yeah,
know.
well, I wasn't allowed to date in high school, and in college I was in the fellowship, so it was like a little difficult.
You were in the what?
The fellowship.
Of the ring?
Yeah.
Little
Can you
hobbit?
excuse me just a second? I just gotta leave my phone for 1 second.
Yeah,
Oh,
to turn
very
down
good.
your
My
radio.
radio's on too loud. I can hear it. Hold on.
Of course it is.
Of course it is, Stalker Patti.
What a dope.
As she walks to the radio, she'll hear this.
Still
Kill
blaming
yourself.
I'm back. I had to
You're
turn it
blaming.
down really
You're right.
low.
She's still blaming high school. I wasn't allowed, and then I was in the fellowship.
Yes.
Patty, do you realize if you do not get aggressive, you're going to be alone for the rest of your natural life?
I think she figured that out like 20 years ago.
You gotta-
Yeah,
you gotta
the only
stop
thing
playing
is
the victim.
My shyness.
Shyness. You took your top off and crawled around on the floor in front of hundreds of people in a Krusty the Clown mask.
Yeah, we want to
How
know.
shy is that?
We want to know more about the fellowship.
Yeah, what's the fellowship?
Oh, it was the Christian fellowship. The
Oh,
people I was
great.
involved with in college.
Teaching you about your awful, dirty vagina that you ought to keep covered at all times, right?
Well, I remember one time I came to church in shorts because it was 98 degrees, and it was like one of those churches in the village,
Yeah.
know? And
Any
I thought
underwear?
everyone was kind of cool. The lady gave me a skirt and told me to put it on because I would be disturbing the brothers in the fellowship.
Why? Because boys wear shorts and only girls wear.
I don't know.
Skirts?
They didn't want me to show my legs.
They didn't want you. What? Doesn't a skirt show your legs?
Yeah, but it was a long skirt, like a maxi skirt.
Ugh.
She's
Makes
old
everything sound
terms.
sexy. A
I kn-
maxi skirt in the
In the
fellowship.
Yeah, I was offended, though. I never went back there again because I thought it was ridiculous.
Patty, tell everybody, after you were abandoned as a small baby in a diner, tell everybody where they sent you.
Where? To New York Foundling.
The New York Foundling. What? She was one of the little rascals.
This is so sad.
Did we go back into a time machine? We're talking about flash bulbs today. We're talking about
Funeral parlors,
the
New York Foundling,
and the fellowship.
and the fellowship.
It's like 1935 today on
Down
the
near
program.
Ellis Island, they had the
Yeah.
foundry. And we saw the Statue of Liberty.
When the ship came through and we all saw the statue, it was a wonderful time for us. I was in quarantine with the smallpox for a while. Ah,
Yeah.
Patty.
The Foundling
We were
Society.
abused daily, but it was better than the homeland.
A lot of the men I met were sent to Boys Town. She's like from the 30s.
What is the Foundling again? That's
At the New York Foundling Hospital. That's the actual name of the place.
And is that they can dedicate an entire hospital to children they find?
Yeah, they have a department, a foster care and adoption department.
Yeah. You didn't make it out of the adoption department, I noticed, huh?
No, I was raised by 60-year-olds. They, probably considered too old to adopt or something.
So they just threw you in these various foster homes?
That's why she talks the way she does. You know, she talked like this when she was 8.
Yeah.
Her parents were 60-year-olds.
Patty was...
Let's go catch the early bird special down at the diner. What am I, made of money? There's old Patty. Give me my reading glasses. I can't see, goddammit.
Oh, wow. So, all right, you're sent to the Foundling Society, whatever, and then a lot of the babies are adopted eventually, right?
Yeah, a lot of us that are older.
God,
I was an older child. I was 16 months
Stalker
old.
Patti was the one puppy that's left over at the pet shop.
Yeah. 16 months and you were the old baby?
Well, after 1 year old, you're old. You're too old for adoption.
So they don't want you. They don't want
baby.
someone else's problem. They want little babies.
Yeah, they want the fresh puppies that come in.
Right, the little cute ones that are...
Right.
They got the little triangle ears hanging from the side of their head.
And the other puppies go out the back door and thrown in the back of a pickup truck.
The big ones that are sitting there with the big loads of crap in their cage. You don't want that because you know it's going to end up on your rug.
Those puppies were special in their little cage for about a week or two.
Yeah.
You know, they blow dry their hair, make them all nice. They have ribbons around them and stuff.
Put them in the front of the window so people can actually see as they walk by and walk in.
And those puppies only have 2 or 3 weeks shelf life.
Yep.
And if you're not convincing your future owner that you're the one, now you're being shipped out the back door.
With the old couples.
Just thrown in a pickup truck, and God knows what they do with them.
Once you're the big puppy, it's over.
It's over, Johnny.
Over. They don't want you. And they didn't want you, Patty. So you just kind of went from foster parents to foster parents, old people.
Yeah, it was a lot of older people. The last home I was in for years. I was like almost 2 years old, and I stayed there till I was 18.
From 2 years to 18, you were with one...
Yeah, from 2, and then before I was
they must
2,
have been
I was
something.
with several. It was in several hands.
They must have been something. 2 years to 18 years, so they pretty much formed you as a human being.
Yeah, well, they were in their 60s. They were elderly.
Elderly in their 60s.
And my record was a Victrola. You know, the car was a machine or carriage.
Oh, my God.
They used to call...
The refrigerator was an ice box. That's what they said. Yeah, they used to
come on, people. These people are old. She sounds like she's doing stand-up.
Right.
I got to tell you.
How old were they?
The refrigerator was an ice box, for Christ's sake. Is this thing on? What's going on?
I tell you, they were old.
I got to tell you, I come out of the Foundling Center, Hey, we went to the ice box. I got to tell you, they took me to school in the carriage, huh? Stalker Rodney. They were old, let me tell you.
I need my laugh track.
God.
I need a laugh track for this type of
You
radio.
were raised with a very old couple is what you're saying.
Did they teach you about sex, Patty?
Actually, it was only about a month before I actually got my first thing.
Your first what thing? Your first period?
Yeah, only a month before. And
how old were you? How old were you when you got your first one?
Oh, like a 14.
14. So little Patty is ready to get it, and your foster parents
before
decided.
that, I had no idea what it was.
All right, hold on. And your parents have to be in their 70s at this point.
Oh, yeah, pushing that. Well, one of them died at 69. The other one lived till his 80s.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
Died at 69.
Yeah.
And now
pressure.
you were still living in the house when she died?
Actually, at that time I was in the college and
the fellowship.
I was 20
I was in the
years old.
college.
The college.
Doing the studying.
In the college?
Yeah, it was only in college that I started to really come out a little bit, being around other people on the floor and stuff.
Right,
They used to tell me, Patty, this is wrong. Fight for your rights. Get away from them.
You got to fight for your right to party.
That's funny, because by then it was probably the 60s, and that's the flower power people talking.
Yeah.
And she's still back in the 40s talking.
She's way
You got to
back.
fight for your rights, man. Summer of love. But I have to go to the college.
I got to go to the college. I can't believe there's Japs and Krauts here at the college.
So you were hanging out with like a 70-year-old mom when you were a teenager.
Yeah, and I couldn't talk about anything with her. Everything was bad.
Everything was bad. Yeah. So when you talk about sex, you didn't probably even bring up the subject of
You
sex.
didn't say the word, or your head was off your shoulders.
Patty, how did they tell you about sex right before you got your period?
Oh, you're going to get pain in your stomach, and you're going to get sick, and this and that, whatever. And then I remember when I got the worst awful cramps, and I really was sick, So
but did they tell you what it was all about and why you were?
That was what it was all about, getting sick.
No,
I really was sick every time I had it.
Patty, did they tell you that you were, expelling an egg, and did they give you the whole thing of what it was?
I don't even think they understood what it was. A lot of people that age in that time, born during the time that they were born, really
the 1800s.
didn't know what was going on inside them.
Well,
The gay 90s.
Gay 90s, right?
Did she take you out to get your first pad?
I had to wear those, yeah. And then
With a belt, right? I
those
think I remember this
friends bring
conversation.
them to the house.
What's that?
They had a younger friend that was in her 30s bring them over to the house.
No, that was
They
her.
actually had to get somebody else to bring them?
That was her great grandkid.
Did they have any of their own? Did they have any of their own children?
Who was the shoe cobbler?
No, they never did. They said they couldn't have them. The only one they adopted was an older brother I'm no longer in contact with.
Oh, did he touch you?
No, he used to pick me up and throw me across the room on the bed if I annoyed him.
Yeah,
that was
probably
about
happened
it.
a
Or
lot.
pick me up and put me on a high dresser and leave me there.
Has anything positive?
Wait, you hear that?
That's a great gag. When Patty would annoy the brother, he would put her up on a high dresser and leave her there.
Yeah, I'd be whining and everything. Get me down, get me down. I was so tiny.
I was so tiny. Wow, that is some
I was
life.
5 years old and a 3-year-old's height.
You were a 3-year-old's height at 5?
Oh, yeah, I was the smallest in the class, always.
So you're a little tiny thing. Are there any pictures of you as a baby, as a kid?
Nothing under the age of 2. Not one thing.
I don't mean that. I mean, like, are there pictures of you at, 10 or 14 or something?
Yeah, I do have a lot of photos of myself.
Patty,
I have to dig them up, but I got them.
If you could bring us some of those, we would love to look at them, scan them, and put them up on the website.
Sure, I will. Yeah, I'll grab.
I want to see what you
go
look like
looking
back
through
then.
my box in my closet.
She
When she
never
was in the-
disappoints.
Did anything happy ever happen? Anything positive?
Yeah, Patty. Any happy memories from back then?
Did you ever fly a kite?
Well, I don't know. I think I was happier being out of the house than in the house, If I was out with my friends playing, I was happy and carefree. But when I came
Carefree.
inside, it was like,
Happy and gay. Yeah.
like a museum, I guess. You had to be, couldn't touch anything and stuff like
Wow,
that.
it's like
I wasn't allowed to
perpetually
turn the TV on and stuff unless they did it.
Being over your old grandma's house or something all the time.
Mothballs.
Mothballs and plastic on the furniture. And,
Awful food.
yeah, horrible old people food. The horrible old people
actually,
smell.
she could cook. That was the one positive thing. She was a great cook.
How would
oh
you
my
know?
God.
You have nothing to base it on.
Yeah. Patty, what, did you ever have fun with your
To
mom?
compare it to.
Not really, no. I couldn't even be in Girl Scouts because she was too old to take part. Didn't feel like it, so the school wouldn't allow me to be in it.
The school, why? Because your adopted whatever mother was too old?
Right, well, because she couldn't take part in everything, and she had to commit herself twice a month to be part of be a den mother. And
Oh, is
couldn't
that
do
the
it,
deal?
couldn't
If
handle
you
it.
join the Girl Scouts, your mom has to be a den mother a couple
and
of times a
I
month?
remember trying to go to the meetings and beg. I was like 8, 9 years old. I really wanted to be a brownie,
Oh,
wanted
this
to be a
poor
Girl
kid.
Scout. I was
It's
prevented
unbelievable.
because it was a rule. Your parents had to participate no matter what.
Oh,
You ever
So
read that?
I
an
couldn't
old
do it.
graham cracker hip couldn't participate, huh?
No. I remember one time we had a class trip to Daytop Village. They said there's going to be people in the trees jumping down at you. I was forbidden to go. I had to stay home.
Daytop Village.
And it would have been a learning experience. I would have
What
loved
the
to have
fuck?
met
Wait,
kids, you
Patty.
know.
What's the
She just
Daytop
says
Village?
these things like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Daytop Village, where people are jumping out of trees on top of her.
Well,
I'm
they
sure our
said
listeners
if
can
you
have a
live
bunch
in
of
the
jokes
trees,
there
My
for that.
father used to tell me you're not to go to an amusement park with a guy. You'll go in a tunnel. Next thing you know, you'll have a baby. And I kept asking him, but what happened between the time I went in and when I had the baby? And he wouldn't answer me.
Oh, you go into one of a tunnel of love or something, and you
Yeah,
come out and
but-
you're going to have
and
a
I
baby.
asked him, but what was going on that I had this baby? Where did it come from? You know?
And they
He
wouldn't
couldn't
tell you.
answer me. He would walk away or yell at me.
I think it was a metaphor. You're speaking in metaphors.
The
love
tunnel.
tunnel.
Right.
I feel like
You'd go
10,
in
11
and
years
out and
old.
in and out and in and out of the tunnel, and then you get hit with some stuff. Oh, my
And
God.
so I had this vision. I'm going in the tunnel with the guy, and I'm coming out, and we have a baby in our arms. So I'm like, but how did this happen?
When did you
Tragic.
finally learn about
good
sex?
question. Yeah, Patty, when did you finally find out exactly how this all works?
Oh, when I lived in the dorms, and friends I know gave me books and things, and I used to read them, like from the library and stuff, you know.
What were some of the titles?
In the year of high school, when I used to go to the library and find things and bring them home, but I had to hide them.
Of course you did.
What were some of the titles? Do you remember?
One of them was Becoming a Woman or something like that. I don't remember. It was too long ago.
I'm sure it was
but
real
there were
sexy.
those types of books in the library section with the librarian herself helping me, which confused me because she was kind of old, and she showed me those books herself. So I guess it must have been just them, and maybe not an old people's thing in general.
I guess my teacher, Mrs. Crabtree, she took me and Chubsy Ubsy to the library. Alfalfa used to make fun of us.
All right. Well, Patty.
Patty, your life deserves a book and a movie.
It's like Angela's Ashes. You ever read that book? You just like, is it ever going to get better?
It just never gets better
Yeah,
with her.
people just keep dying.
We've known Patty for over 5 years now.
Yeah, at least.
And everything new she tells us is just another sad story. Are you happy now, Patty, in your life?
Yeah, I'm much happier now.
You're a happy woman now?
Yeah, I feel a lot freer.
What do you think would complete yourself to make you the happiest you could be? Is it a relationship?
Cock.
You mean
Cock.
somebody that I care about and want to be with for the rest of my life? That
Yeah.
would make me very, very
Well,
happy.
as we were saying before this whole conversation got started, you got to loosen up a little more. And if somebody asks you out, you got to go with them, maybe to a restaurant and have some dinner. And not worry so much about getting to know them before you go out. You get to know people at dinner. That's what the dating is for.
Oh, no, my point is I want to make sure it's not with a nut that's going to hurt me or
Well,
something.
it's going to be one of our listeners, so you got to kind of put that away. It's going to be
hurt
a
you in
nut.
a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy, have you been listening to this?
Yeah, and it was it's much easier to hear on hold. Like I can hear you guys loud and clear on hold, and then once we come through, it's very, very hard.
Yeah, that figures.
So it's only on that translation, but you can hear when you're on hold.
I bet you it's the same problem where the audio drops in half when we push different buttons on the board here. I wonder if the same thing's going on with the phone system, Anthony.
But I did hear enough to realize that this conversation is making me nauseous. Old copper panties. I don't need that.
Oh, copper panties.
All right, Patty, I think we're going to let you go and talk to Jimmy here.
Okay.
Patty, get me some chocolate-covered cherries.
Oh, okay, sure.
Thank
I'll take
you.
up those photos, too.
That works like a diver.
And truffles.
Okay.
Yeah, the truffles are really good.
She's
our
mom-
chocolate connection.
Yeah, my mom loves the truffles.
We'll
cool.
pay you for
Okay.
them, Patty.
Yeah, we'll pay you.
Aw.
And for Christ's sake, join the Fellowship of the Penis.
Hey, Patty,
Yes?
could you bring me one of your pulpy tampons dipped in chocolate?
No, I don't know, Jimmy, if that's possible.
Oh.
Everything else is possible, but I don't know about that.
The fellowship. Then I went on to the Two Towers.
Right.
All right, I got to get ready for work now.
The Foundling Society.
Foundlings.
The Fellowship. What?
Great.
Okay, so have a good day,
Okay.
guys.
Well, just hang
Bye,
out, Patty.
Bye, Patty.
Bye.
Bye.
There she goes. All right, we're on the phone with Jimmy Norton.
Yes.